This is Michelle Grimolia, the president and CEO here at Woodland Pond. I'm actually pre-recording this message. So today is actually Monday afternoon, but you will be seeing this on Tuesday. The reason I am pre-recording is because several of us are traveling to Long Island tomorrow to visit a CCRC in Port Jefferson, who is using the interior design firm that we have sort of placed as our hopeful candidate for an eventual refurbishment here at the community. So a number of us are traveling down to that CCRC tomorrow, which will be Tuesday, or the day that you're seeing this. And so we won't be in the office. So I thought I'd get a jump on recording this so that I could get some pertinent information to all of you. So first and foremost, I just want to officially and formally thank everyone for your cooperation, your flexibility, your stories about your interactions with the film crew. Excuse me, by and large, I certainly would count this as a success. We had, no serious injuries, actually no injuries that I'm aware of, no illnesses, no emergencies, no theft, which is amazing because there was a ton of, non-Woodland Pond property here at the community. And I was very afraid of it walking away, not intentionally, but there was a lot of stuff just kind of out and around. It all, was accounted for, and that's fantastic. I always feel like this is a safe community, and this kind of thing just emphasizes that to me. Again, I wanted to thank all of you. This is by no means going to become a regular thing. Although a couple of you have asked me if others came knocking, what would we do? And I have simply said, let's cross that bridge when we come to it. If by chance the crew happens to watch this YouTube video, I would also like to thank you. I think you did a fantastic job of keeping us very informed. I understand that some of you were between a rock and a hard place because there's a lot of different constituencies that you have to keep satisfied. I think you did a fabulous job given the circumstances. We cannot wait to watch the episode when it airs in 2023. And my team and I have some ideas about a premiere type event to air the program when it comes out, maybe featuring a red carpet for the extras that got to participate in the filming. So at this point in time, just about everything that was impacted by filming should be rectified or put back. If you do see anything that either we missed or the film crew missed, please contact Concierge, and we will get that rectified and put back in place. So at this point, again, as I said, there shouldn't really be any visible footprint of the filming that was here on campus the last couple of weeks. The next thing I'd like to mention, Christy Battistoni, our Director of Finance, and I had a meeting today with the Financial Advisory Committee of the Residents Council. So this was our standing monthly meeting. And the question of the fee that Peacock paid us came up. And as I've explained to a number of you, and I'll say it again here, so I'm not able to disclose the exact fee. That's a confidential amount of money that I negotiated with them on behalf of Woodland Pond. But I can tell you that it was substantially more than they typically pay. I pushed them for as much as they were able to pay to us based under the parameters that they do, and they acquiesced. That funding was in hand before they started filming. So they cut us a check at the outset. So on day one that they were here on site, they gave us a check. We put that into the bank. So for those that have asked, what can that money be earmarked for? What is it going to be used for? The simple answer is it went right back into our checking account because, as you know, we are facing substantial stresses from inflation and wage pressures in the market. So this year is, a year that we can certainly use some extra cash flow to try and make sure that our books are balanced. So there are no special projects that are identified for this money. In the future, if we have an opportunity to do something like this, that potentially could generate some cash flow. And if it's a year that, the economy is a little bit more stable, we aren't seeing the inflation and the budgetary challenges that we're seeing this year, certainly we can talk about some kind of a especially used for those funds. But despite what some have suggested must be a $500,000 fee or $1 million fee, it's quite below that. It's very fair for the level of disruption that we had. And again, it's more than what they typically pay. So I'm very happy with what we received. But that did go right into operations. So that's going to go to pay, our bills. So that is that topic. Let's see, a couple of very important things on the calendar this week. So on Wednesday of this week, we have got an event at 1 p.m. in the PAC called a mental health and wellness program. And there is a write-up about it in the Woodland Life newsletter, but I just want to really emphasize this. The intent of the meeting on Wednesday, I really hope everybody chooses to come. This is where you're going to meet the members of the mental health task force that was put together after we did a mental health survey in the spring. I believe it was in February that there was maybe it was March. There was a panel presentation by a number of residents here at the community that had either been social workers or counselors or had worked adjacent to that mental health support field. And the conversation came up about, different opportunities for that kind of support here at Woodland Pond, which then resulted in us performing a survey of needs, which then resulted in us putting together a mental health task force. And despite the fact that it's only been 3 or 4 months, and I feel like we've been chasing our tails crazy with lots of things going on in that intervening period, we have progress to report. We have a practitioner that we want to introduce to you. We have progress and thoughts and plans that we want to share with you. So I hope you do choose to come to that mental health information session on Wednesday at 1 p.m. in the PAC. Also of note this week at 2:30 on Friday, we are having an ice cream social. So that will be in the pub. I hope you will all come and enjoy some ice cream on us for National Ice Cream Month. That will be again on Friday in the pub. One other note, Gretchen mentioned that the Repair Cafe that is on the calendar for Saturday the 16th has been postponed. We don't have a rescheduled date yet. So just make note that that Repair Cafe will not be happening on the 16th as it's shown on your calendar. The last thing that I want to mention, we have continued to see rolling COVID cases on campus. We have no COVID cases or suspected in residents in the health center. We currently don't have any, to my knowledge, in residents and independent living. Although in the last several weeks, we've had 1 or 2 new positives every couple of weeks. Most of them, if not all, have been attached to international or airplane travel. So if you are traveling on an airplane, or especially if it's an extended plane ride, certainly I would recommend either a full N95 mask or a KN95 mask. It's a virus that's going to circulate in enclosed spaces. So because we are seeing, any cases that we're seeing kind of correlated to close contact, which we know, just a reminder that this virus is still out there. We have not seen any serious illness. We do have 1 registered nurse that did test positive yesterday, and she had exposure. She did some work sort of all over campus over the weekend and the end of last week. So she is symptomatic, but she's doing okay. But obviously we need to report if there's any kind of exposure in a staff member, especially in the health center. And this nurse did work in sort of a couple of different parts on campus. So, just keeping an eye on yourself and your symptoms all the time, not just with the latest few cases, but just always kind of remembering we're going to be dealing with COVID for the long term. So if you're feeling any sort of symptoms of illness at all, please stay out of the public. If you've had any known exposures, please wear the proper PPE, make sure that you're only going out when you need to, those kinds of things, because nobody really wants to be a super spreader by any means. Of course, most of our people at the community are vaccinated and boosted. but it's still a high risk population. So it's just a reminder that the virus is still here and kicking around. So I will be in the rest of the week after our trip to Long Island, and I will be around if anybody needs me. Thank you.